This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Strike a pose. Most people with pets these days want to document the memories created with them. And some want to share those memories with the world on Facebook or Instagram. And you know what I mean. The difference between a professional-looking photo and one with poor lighting or poor positioning of the frame. The competition is steep out there. Today's guest, Vasi Siedman of Pet Pics Academy, is an award-winning lifestyle photographer. She's located in South Florida, and she's always had a passion for capturing those timeless moments and creating memories. She holds 2 photography degrees, is on the board of Professional Photography Guild of the Palm Beaches, and she's been appointed a delegate of the Florida Professional Photographers Organization. So Vasi knows what she's doing behind the camera. She's also taught many pet parents just like you how to take professional-looking photos of their babies so they can build that following you want, reap those rewards, and just plain have fun doing it. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and I'm Jody Miller-Young, your host. So we're going to take a short break from our sponsor, but when we return, you'll find out how Vasi can help you and break down what goes into a great social media photo. So grab that favorite beverage, get comfortable, and we'll be right back.
Here's an alarming statistic. More than 2/3 of dogs and cats have oral health disease by the age of 3, and one of the indicators is bad breath. Do your pets have a healthy mouth? Do you cringe when it's time for a kiss or a snuggle? Let's get to the cause. Harmful bacteria in their mouth. And bad breath is just the start. The bad bacteria cause tartar and oral disease, which can lead to serious overall health problems. It's critical to make sure your pet's oral health is the best it can be, as good dental health is key to optimizing their overall health. Now, good news. It's easy and affordable to improve their oral health with Probiora Pet. Just 1 scoop of this dental care probiotic mixed into their food daily floods the mouth with positive bacteria, which crowds out the bad. This means better oral health and fresher breath. Probiora Pet is an all-natural dental care probiotic. It's odor and taste-free, so your pets will still enjoy their chow. We want to keep your pets healthy. During National Pet Oral Health Month, our listeners can save 10%. Go to probiorapet.com and use PLR10 at checkout. That's probiorapet.com. Use PLR10 at checkout to save 10%.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. If you just joined, you're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and I'm Jody Miller-Young. Vasi Siedman of Pet Pics Academy is an expert in taking the perfect Instagram-ready pet photo. Today, she's going to help us learn what goes into that and how you can do it too. Hey, Vasi.
Hi, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on the show today.
I'm really excited to have you. So many pet parents are taking photos of their dogs, their cats, their babies, and posting them on Instagram. More and more dogs and cats have their own Instagram pages. My brother literally just the other day said, "Who can I call? I want to get an agent for my dog." I mean, this is happening more and more. So taking great photos, it's all about the visuals. So now we're talking about experts here. You're a 3rd generation photographer, and you've been doing this yourself for almost a decade. Tell us a little bit more about at what age you first knew you wanted to take pictures and what sparked that.
Well, I always like art, and I was kind of doing a lot of different things, taking pictures. I come from a very artistic family, from my mother's side and from my father's side. And when I came to US, even back in Bulgaria, I was taking photos. And one day in the beginning of when I came to US, my mom said, "Vasi, maybe it's time for you to consider to find a career which would give you the freedom one day when you have your own family to have freedom. And she said, why not photography? And I thought a lot of it. And just eventually I met the photographer I worked for. And that's how, I entered the photography community myself. And actually I was joking recently, but in the beginning, I had to make a choice between buying a car or buying a camera. And you can guess what was my choice.
Oh my God. Well, you were definitely dedicated. That's for sure. What are the biggest challenges you hear from pet parents when you talk to them about trying to take pictures of their pets before they work with you?
Well, they would say that their pets never stay for them. They also would say that their pictures are very dark or very blurry, or maybe they need a camera and they're not sure that they can take good pictures using their cell phone.
Got you. Okay. So is that what inspired you to create Pet Pics Academy?
So the truth is that my local clients here in Florida for many years kept asking me, so Vasi, can you give us a few tips on how we can take pictures when you're not around? And at that time, they used to call it Vasi style. So eventually, so Vasi style was pretty famous in South Florida. And this is how I was introduced to the opportunity that I could have an online teaching platform. And 2019, Pet Pics was born.
And so that's fantastic. And congratulations. Having your own business is not easy. And I really, admire everybody who takes that leap and grows their own business. There's nothing like it. If you get it right, you do have that freedom and you get to help a lot of people, which is fantastic. How would you describe Vasi style? What is it?
I love that. So Vasi style to me, first of all, I call them furry kids, and I hope that a lot of the listeners would accept and agree with me.
Yeah.
So it's all about capturing their personality, and it's about being very patient. Even sometimes patience, it's kind of hard to really keep it together, and that there are so many obstacles around us, but just trying to really focus on the furry baby, really capture when they smile, when they're looking away, try to kind of really create a timeless portrait, because all of us, including myself, we take snapshots, but the truth is that even if it's a snapshot, still it can be portrait, which means that more of an elevated portrait. And I really, truly believe that sometimes we take it really easy. We press the button, but that's not only what we do. We actually create a memory, which in 15 years from now, we are going to cherish more than ever.
Absolutely. So true. So if a pet parent comes to you and joins Pet Pics Academy, what do you do for them? Take us a little bit through the process so pet parents listening can see whether it's something that sounds like it could be for them.
So I do have different courses and also a membership, because I have found out that every furry parent has different goals. So some of them, they just simply want to learn how to take better pictures, and then they will go with my masterclass. But others would like to become a pet influencer or be noticed by brands. Then they would need continued training, how to edit artistically their pictures, how to have really outstanding and trendy social media accounts on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. So some of them would like to create and set up their home studio. Then they would need to take the class for home studio for small spaces. So I can tell them, okay, you don't need to go and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars. Just get this light from Amazon, this backdrop, this is what you can use on a budget. And that's how you can get things, done by yourself. So people really have the choice. But it's just incredible, really, to see some of my students, and I call them students. I mean, I have people who follow Pet Pics from all around the world. Like I have a student from Germany, a student from Greece, and many other countries. And they're different age. I have people from 15 to 8 years old. And just to see that the passion and the love of their furry babies, and just embracing and investing a little time and effort, their pictures are incredible.
That's wonderful. That is really, really cool. So you offer everything from free resources for pet parents to learn sort of basics, depending on, if they just want to capture memories and, don't really want to sort of grow something with photographing their pets, all the way to courses that people can pay for. And they all seem very reasonable, by the way, to get deeper into learning how to do that and setting up their home studio, et cetera. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. Yes, I have quite a bit of free sources people can find. I love creating content. So I have a joke. Just tell me what you like to learn and I will make it happen. And so, yes, I do have a lot of different options. So, yeah, it's really fun.
So let's say a pet parent makes use of one of your free resources and learns about the basic sort of training to take photos. What have you found that those pet parents find most challenging to master even after that basic training?
Well, they will learn how to take pictures. The lighting, I know that everyone is kind of tired to hear lighting.
It's tough though.
It is very tough. So, and on top of it, it depends of the time of the day, including the season, because as we know, going into fall and winter, days are shorter. So what I really love to teach them and help them is that when they can, my end goal for each furry parent is to be able to take pictures anywhere, at any time of the day, and their portraits to be really beautiful. And even if they're snapshot, and I also encourage people to kind of be in some of the portraits, and I cannot tell you how many times I had students who went back in pictures with their family members 7 years before they met me, and they went and they fixed them up. It's just incredible.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, so lighting is kind of like one of the big things that pet parents who don't take additional training have challenges with even after basic training, which is understandable.
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. Now, you also have private clients. Are all of your private clients local? Do you ever travel for private client gigs or?
For my regular clients as a photographer, honestly, especially before last year, I mean, I had people traveling to Florida for me to photograph them as a photographer.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they were like
Vasi style.
Yes, Vasi style. Yes, and but I don't mind if I have client or if they book me a whole weekend. I would go and photograph. In fact, I do a lot of pet fashion shows where I go and photograph as a portrait photographer. But student-wise, I do coach one-on-one, and I have students from everywhere, and the end goal for each of them, it just really depends on what they want to learn. But pretty much after an hour and change with me, they have quite a bit of clarity and really high results. So I kind of teach a little too heavy in a good way, but the results are really, really amazing. I'm very proud of my students.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I want to talk with you more. We're going to take a short break from our sponsor. But when we come back, Vasi is going to tell us about what photos she's found to be the most popular on social media and maybe some stories of pet parent successes, which could be you too. So refresh that beverage, get cozy, and we'll be right back.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. If you've just joined, you're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm Jody Miller-Young, and we're here today with pet photographer and educator, Vasi Siedman. Vasi, what types of photos do you find to be the most popular on Instagram? What do people gravitate towards?
They typically, they like like really sometimes simple pictures. So the truth is that our Instagram account or Facebook or TikTok account, they can be really different depending of the personality of our furry babies and depending also on your personal taste. For example, there are some people who like to take pictures of their furry kids only outside. It's more adventurous. Some of them are more of into the pet fashion world. So it really depends. But overall, brands want to see more pictures focusing on the pet. They don't want to see dark photos. They don't want to see photos with so many props that you're practically not able to see the pet face. So it's more about focusing on the furry babies. They also want to see consistency. They want to make sure that if they scroll down on your feed, they're going to keep seeing similar picture. They don't need necessarily to be always all the time outside or inside. They can be different colors, but just consistency. It's like a brand. It's like when I see your stuff, I know that that's you. That's kind of when we, for example, see, let's say, Starbucks, we always know without even reading that this is Starbucks because we know the green. The same is with our social media accounts of our furry babies.
Got you. And that makes a lot of sense. And I've seen that with lots of different doggy brands on Instagram, the ones that are the bigger accounts. And also, I would imagine they want to be able to see the personality of the dog or cat emerge from the photos. And so that becomes part of the brand, this sort of personality. Like, for example, one of my friends and my dog Sophie's friends from New York is Holly Happy Havanese. She's a Havanese and her mom, Nina, takes her pictures. And she's all about fashion and she is all about high-end fashion. So there are lots of cool props, but not so many that they overpower her. And Nina has become really good. And I think this is the other piece that's important too, at the copy to help give Holly that personality. But the photos show her in these great settings around New York City in these great outfits. And, you know, the lighting is good and all that other stuff. So I think that, you know, there's lots of things at play here. The competition is definitely steep and lighting is key and sort of bringing that personality of the pet out, I think is key too. Yeah.
Absolutely. I do agree with you. And it's, I'm so glad that you mentioned about your friend. And I do have a bunch of my students in the beginning, they couldn't define their style. They were like wondering. And even in the beginning, friends, the last thing I would say, don't get stopped of posting pictures because you may don't think that this picture is good enough. The truth is that our audience keep growing with us and their tastes keep growing, and it takes time to find and define the style and the personality, the virtual personality of your furry kid, which needs to resonate with you and your baby or babies.
I think that's great advice because I do think that there may be pet parents listening who will put that kind of pressure on themselves right out of the gate. And it is definitely a process. I saw it with Nina and Holly. They didn't start out that way. It was definitely a process. So yeah, I think that is great advice. So was there a standout sort of most photogenic pet that you have photographed stands out in your mind?
Well, I just before last year, I was photographing about probably 1,000 furry kids a year.
Wow.
Yes, I'm really busy photographer. As a photographer, people book me even today. They booked me 4 months ahead.
Amazing.
Yes, I'm very fortunate. But I would want to share with you and our listeners my story with Delilah. So Delilah and we go back to 2017 when she came to me with her mommy, Kati, to take pictures for her birthday. So they have been with me and I have been with them on our journey together for so many years. And they kind of helped me grow pet pics. They are my kind of a local pet influencers. And I just keep loving to photograph her and just being able to capture her personality. It's just incredible. I mean, they smile. I mean, they call me actually like the pet whisperer because I'm very patient when I take pictures. And when I teach my students, I remind me about patience. It's if you are a little nervous, your babies, they will feel, just maybe turn on some relaxing music. And even if you end up taking 100 pictures, to me, what matters are those few signature, beautiful pictures, even if they're for social media, but they're amazing and important.
Yeah, definitely. So does this dog have an Instagram account?
Yes.
Spell out the name of the Instagram account so, people listening can check out, first of all, your photos of this dog in her account and see some of the work that you do, and also check this dog out that you've been involved with for so many years as like a, such a sought after photographer. I think that would be really cool.
Absolutely. So everyone, for me, they can find me under Pet Pics Academy with X. And then this little beautiful princess, her Instagram account, it's Delilah_diary. So it's DELILAH_DIARY. Delilah Diary. And you're going to see nowadays she has 20,000. They are absolutely organically. Her mommy, she's very in a good way particular. Currently, for the past 3 months, we get together, honestly, every Friday for me to take pictures and videos. For Delilah, she goes to the grooming salon all the time before pictures. So it's just amazing to see her growth.
Oh my God, I've just pulled up her Instagram. She is adorable. Oh my God. That big blue bow on her head, all of the bows that she wears, and they're big. They're like no little bows for this girl. They're signature bows. She is really cute and the photos are beautiful. And there's absolutely consistency with the photos in this account. I totally see what you're talking about. Really cool. Check it out. Delilah_diary. She's very, very cute, and she's got over 20,000 followers already on Instagram. So good for her. Are there any other stories of pets that you photographed that you'd like to share, or successes from any of your students that you've taught that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. I want to share with each of you about Theo, the poodle boy. So Theo, and it's THEO.POODLE.boy. And so when I met his mom, when she joined Pet Pics, in the beginning, she was taking a lot of different pictures of him, but they weren't consistent. And so over the past few months, she joined my membership, and she pretty much comes to each class I have, which I have few new classes every month. And we were able to establish the style of the furry baby of Theo. We elevated the pictures, and nowadays Theo, it's really great brand ambassador and just succeed. I mean, he was just recently featured in a lot of places, so it's really amazing. But it just was like, for him was the problem, like in the beginning, she was posting a lot of different pictures and she just didn't know. And typically what I do in our membership, I go through their Instagram account of some of my students and I would say, let's remove this picture, let's change the color, especially Theo, it's white. So some of you friends, if you have wider furry babies or black, you're going to see that a lot of times your pictures are not consistent. Sometimes they're more yellow or pink. So we were able to find the consistency, define his style, change his bio as well. And once in a while I would say, okay, it's time to change the profile picture. It's time to do this. So it's really amazing to see his growth. And now he's just doing really well.
Yeah, he's got almost 17,000 followers. I'm on his page. The photos are beautiful. These photos, I mean, he's in the San Francisco or New York area. So these photos were taken by his mom?
Yes, everything.
You taught her how to take photos like this?
Yes, absolutely.
They're beautiful. You guys can check it out. Theo, THEO.poodle, POODLE.boy, BOY. And he is really cute. And the photos are really, really nice. So that is great. See, you can see what you're able to learn, which is really, really fantastic. Have any of your pet photos gone viral?
Oh, yeah.
You've been covered by, press like People Magazine and the New York Times. I mean, have any of your photos gone viral? Tell us.
Well, honestly, so Delilah, what happened with her, she actually got married virtually.
Okay.
It was really great. So last year she got married with Romeo from UK. They had a virtual wedding. So a lot of my pictures from the wedding were multiple time published in different magazines in US and also in UK. As a photographer myself, I was featured also in New York Times. And it's just,
As a pet photographer?
yes, as a photographer, yes, as Vasi Siedman photographer was featured in New York's Times. It was actually December of last year. Yeah, so it's just
fantastic.
Yeah, and then Puppy Post. It's a UK magazine, so it's kind of after a while, in a good way. It's my students. They really love the results, and they will go and they will just submit their pictures, or my clients as well. And this is how I just honestly get published. And then after a while we see, oh, I was published there, but I want to share a really interesting story. So last year I was in Marshall's doing a Instagram live on furniture for pet pictures. And I just did hashtag Marshalls. So they actually found me in September, and them and their marketing company connected with me, and they used the 7 seconds of my video in their advertising, which I thought that it was very powerful.
That is amazing. Wow.
The power of hashtag.
The power of hashtag. And when you get out there enough, over time, people start to notice. And that's obviously what's happened with you over the past several years. And that's a beautiful thing. Vasi, first of all, is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to?
Well, I also want to mention that I do have a podcast. It's called Pet Pics Academy, but it's very different. It's for pet fashion and pet photography tips. And I'm very proud that I had people from everywhere. It's just different way for anyone who is interested to learn a little more about pet photography.
Well, I think pet fashion and pet photography often go hand in hand. So I think that they're very complementary. I think a lot of people who create Instagram accounts for their pets, that fashion is a part of it, certainly in many cases, if not all. So that's great. Wonderful podcast. And I actually was a guest. Vasi invited me on her podcast. So it's very cool. I encourage you to check it out. Vasi, tell people where they can find you. You said Pet Pics with an X Academy, but you also have a photography site for your one-to-one clients, not students. And then on your social, tell people where they can find you.
Thank you. Everyone can find me under Pet Pics Academy on all the social media, or my website for photography. It's going to be Vasi Studio, but just singular, Vasi, V-A-S-I, vasistudio.com, or under Vasi Siedman on primary. I'm on Facebook under Vasi Siedman, but Pet Pics Academy, it's on everywhere. I check it all the time.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being with us today, Vasi.
It was so amazing. Thank you for having me. And good luck to each of you, dear friends. Believe in yourself. Just know that when you press the button, you're creating memories. Make sure you go and try to take pictures on doggy's eye level or furry kid's eye level. Try to use the light. Make sure that you don't block the light, and just embrace it. You can do it.
There you go. Great advice. And, thank you for sharing that with our listeners, Vasi. And thank you all for listening. Thanks to our producer, Mark Winter, who makes us sound so good. Mark, we love you for that. My passion is living stylishly, animal rescue, and health. So tune in next time to discover the designers, home decor, rescue stories, and health experts with great stories and important info to share. So until next time, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.